The Umpire Inspire podcast is all about the stories, all about the journeys, and all about the heart of being an umpire. I'm your host, Jason Becker. Well, hi there, everybody. Jason here. Thank you so much for popping into the show today. Fun interview today. Something that I have not yet brought to you so far on the Umpire Inspire podcast that I think you're going to enjoy. And you'll see what I mean in a minute here. If you are new to the show, welcome. This is a place where we celebrate and inspire extraordinary and ordinary baseball and softball umpires all around the world. And I'm so glad that you have stopped by. I want to invite you to visit umpireinspire.com, where you can find all our previous episodes, my conversations with baseball and softball umpires from Little League all the way up to Major League Baseball, and you can learn how to support the show and earn rewards by becoming a contributor to the show on Patreon. Hey, if you're listening to the show today on Apple Podcasts, which actually is indeed where the majority of you get this podcast, according to my analytics data, would you take just 60 seconds to please leave a review? Reviews on Apple Podcasts help get the word out to other podcast listeners and recommend it to other umpires who can be encouraged and inspired by our great guests. If you enjoy this show, then please take just a minute for that little task. I would be very grateful. All right, so you all know that I am a very proud Little League volunteer umpire. Little League baseball and softball, it's special for a million reasons. And one big one to me is that it is international. Kids all around the world are playing the same game. And volunteer umpires all around the world are calling those games. And did you know there's a mechanism in place for Little League umpires to be selected to serve at tournaments internationally? And you see that at the Little League Baseball World Series in Williamsport every summer, of course, and the other World Series tournaments in Little League's other divisions of play as well. What a special opportunity for those umpires. Well, look, without further ado, let me introduce you to one of those umpires. Filip Havlik is 18 years old. He is from Prague in the Czech Republic. And in 2020, after having served in multiple European Little League tournaments, he was selected to come to the United States to work at the Intermediate Division World Series. Yeah, that tournament was canceled this year, of course, due to the pandemic, but as you'll hear, Filip will still get his opportunity to come out to work that tournament in Livermore, California in 2021. How fun. So yeah, my first international guest on the Umpire Inspire podcast. Filip is a cool kid. He very clearly loves being an umpire, and I have it on good authority from friends of mine who have worked alongside him that he is a terrific umpire with a very bright future. It was so interesting for me to learn about baseball in the Czech Republic and hear about Filip's approach to umpiring. I think you're really going to like hearing all about it too. So please enjoy my conversation with Filip Havlik. Filip, welcome to the Umpire Inspire podcast. It's great to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation, Jason.
Absolutely. Filip, you and I have some umpire friends in common. And I think maybe we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. And I've really been looking forward to speaking with you, Filip, because you, my friend, are the first international guest I've been able to have on the show.
Oh, that's an honor for me.
Which just proves the point that this game that we love is played all over the world. And that's one of many things that makes baseball and softball very, very special. But Filip, please introduce yourself. Tell me and the listeners who you are and where you come from, and kind of a little bit about your umpiring background.
So I'm Filip. I live in the Czech Republic, in the capital city of Czech Republic, Prague. I'm 18 years old. I study IT, website development, and something like that. I started umpiring at 2016. That was my first game in Prague region. Prague district, under 13 with some colleagues who was more like pro in our region of Prague. I really enjoyed it, and I started growing up as an umpire. I was a player since 2008.
In your school?
No, we haven't anything like that. We have teams.
Okay.
It's not joined with the school. It's separated.
Okay.
There's 5 teams in Prague. I was in the closest one. That was the best for me.
Okay.
And I realized that I'm good umpire after 2 years, so I ended with playing and started to be only umpire and focus on it as well.
How did you first get that first call to umpire? Did you know somebody who asked you to come out to try umpiring, or did you seek out something yourself?
Here it works that there is a rookie clinic every year in every district of Czech Republic.
Okay.
And my coach came and told me if I want to try it. So this was the start.
Do a lot of players also try umpiring, or is it like it is in a lot of areas here where it's sort of difficult to get people to try umpiring?
It's difficult, but the people want to umpire because very good money for it. So
okay.
They want to do it, but they are also players, so they can work only some tournaments when they have time.
Right. So, Filip, you just said that you realized that you were, even after a short time, you felt like you were a better umpire than you were a player. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
So tell me about that. What was it about umpiring that you felt confident with? Why did that sort of connect with you?
I was only pitcher, so
okay.
That was the only thing what I was doing, and I think I wasn't even good, so it wasn't hard for me to be better umpire than a player.
Okay.
But what I enjoy mostly about umpiring is that you are always in action.
Yes.
You have no time sitting on a bench and watching a game. You are always in action. You have always pay attention for a game.
So Filip, tell me about baseball in the Czech Republic. Is it a popular sport, or is it a growing sport, would you say?
It's a growing sport, definitely. Yeah. 10 teams in Extra League, then some teams in First League. There's 7 teams in First League, and that's all at the state level. So there are some local teams, but not that much.
What are the ages of the players in these leagues?
Every team in the highest league has young players since under 7, under 8, under 11, under 13, under 15, under 18,
okay.
And under 21 categories. So.
And do you have a particular division that you umpire more than any other, or are you all over the place just doing whatever games need somebody to serve?
I usually work the Extra League or adults, and then under 18 with under 21. That's what I have time for because of school and that stuff. So.
Speaking of school, Filip, are you still in school? Will you be finishing up with...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm finishing up next year, high school.
Okay, very good. And then what comes next for you? Will you be going to a university or going to work somewhere?
I am planning to go to university, so I hope that I will.
So, Filip, you mentioned a clinic that is put on in the Prague region frequently to teach and train umpires. Yep. What is that clinic like? And can you remember when you went to your first clinic and what kinds of instructors you had, and what the experience was like for you? We have so many different clinics and camps and schools here in the United States, and I'm sure that's the same way all around the world. And I'm just curious what that was like for you in the Czech Republic.
We have this one. The clinics are for rookie lessons, basic lessons. We have our license system, so everything has its own clinic. The rookie clinic is a one-day clinic. It starts about 9 a.m. and it's until 4 p.m. Before lunch, there are presentations about rules, mechanics, about set, slot, and the theory, just on the paper. And how does it work, how does it work in Czech Republic at all, because the guys don't know who is umpire coordinator, who knows the rules best, or that stuff. So this is before lunch, and after lunch we go to the gym and work some drills, like calling out and save, working behind the plate.
Oh, that sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah,
It sounds a lot like a lot of the clinics that I've attended.
yeah, it's the same. And my first clinic was in Prague. It was in Prague because the region, it was at Eagles, which is the largest stadium in Prague.
Okay.
Instructors were one of my mentors, Fanda Přibyl, who was on WBSC, last WBSC, which was. And who was the next? I don't know the next one because that one is not umpiring anymore. So
One question that I always like to hear from guys is who some of your most important mentors were. Who are the men and women, the umpires that helped you along and encouraged you to take umpiring seriously? Can you tell me about maybe a couple of those people in your career so far?
yeah, first one was a Fanda Přibyl. He's also vice president of Czech Baseball Association, so he knows a lot about baseball and that. The second one is Zizidek. He works minor league single A this year. He should work. He's now working an independent league in the United States, so maybe you can saw him in television. He's a really good guy. He's pro. So I worked with him last 2 winters, as we are trying to get better with my next colleague, who is younger than me. He's 16, I think.
Oh, wow.
We worked hard every Sunday. So
Very good. Zizidek, some of my listeners might be familiar with him because he is a minor league umpire over here and working his way up. So how important has he been to you? And in those training sessions that you've been able to have with him, what kinds of things has he helped you along with to improve your game?
I think he was the most important person for me when it's connected with umpiring, because he learned me everything about correctly set position, what is slot like, how to move on the field, how to look good on the field, what should I do and what should I don't do on the field. So it's really important for me. We worked only one game this year, I think, because he went to the United States. So
you did get to work a game together?
Yeah, we worked. There's not so many umpires, so we usually work with everyone in a region at least once a year. So.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, Filip, I'm really interested to hear about some of your tournament experiences. We haven't had a chance to visit too much, only over email so far, but we have some things in common. We're both Little League tournament umpires. You've had a couple opportunities over there in Europe, and I'd like to hear about those tournaments and kind of what the experience was like for you and what it was like working with umpires from around the world. Can you tell me about the 2 intermediate division Little League tournaments?
I worked 3 intermediate divisions.
Oh, my apologies. You've worked 3. That's awesome.
I worked 3. The first one was, I think, the most important for me because that was the first time when I met some colleagues from abroad who is not from Czech Republic. So it was kind of different level for me. And there was colleague Derek Gillespie from United States, Ken Michels, and then one colleague from Germany. And those 2 guys from United States definitely changed my mind in umpiring. I was not sure if I want to do it like that much as I am doing it right now. And when I had a games with them and had a chat with them after game or between games, it definitely moved me forward in my mind. Like, yes, this is what I want to do.
Were those gentlemen just inspiring to you on the field, or was it something that they noticed about your game, or did you just plain have fun out there and then decide, yeah, this is something I want to pursue?
I think something from everything. it was really good combination of everything like that. How they work games, game management, how they talk between them after games, what they do after game, rituals with before game, everything.
Okay. Well, Philip, you might not know this, but Ken Mitchell is a friend of mine.
Oh, amazing.
Yep, he's an umpire here in my district here in Washington State in the USA, and in fact, much more than that. My wife's father was a Little League umpire for 42 years, and he and Ken worked a lot of games together.
Wow.
And those two were very good friends. And so you and I have Ken's friendship in common as well.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So that was your first one, and you got to do it all over again the next year, right?
Yeah, I worked next year. There was the first time I met Gerard. It was also a good crew. We worked all games in four-man system because there was not so much teams on Little League tournament because of European Championship in under 12 category. There are only 4 teams on the second Little League Intermediate tournament. I worked four-man system first that year, right before Little League tournament. So I improved my skills in four-man system. So it was the highlight for me that I worked four-man system.
And also, I should clarify for those who don't know, the intermediate division of Little League baseball is what comes after majors, or what you would call Little League. The field is a little bit bigger. The pitching rubber is back 4 feet. They play some different rules, including leading off bases, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a step up for Little League players. A little bit closer to regular old baseball. So before we stray too far off of Little League tournaments, Philip, you had an assignment this summer that was unfortunately postponed. Can you tell me where you were selected to work this summer and what will happen next?
I was selected to work Little League Intermediate World Series in Livermore, California. It should start in 2 days. Right now I had to be in the United States.
I'm sorry. Oh no.
This is a sad story, but I hope that I will be able to do it next year.
I hope so too. Congratulations, Philip. That's a very nice honor for you.
It is. It will be first time for me to visit the United States, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope it will come true in next year.
I hope so too, and maybe we can check back in again next year to make sure that you made it. Actually, forget checking in. I'll just drive down and watch you, Philip. That's not too far from. I can make it down there in a long day of driving. So maybe I'll have to make a little road trip.
Well, that will be amazing to see you.
That would be fun. I also had a Little League tournament selection this summer for Little League softball in California. That was postponed till next year. So I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely disappointed. I sure wish I was down there working those games right now, but we'll just have to wait a year. That's all.
We have to wait. That's it.
Right. That's right.
Ken told me that he's going to come. So. And also Gerard will come. Gerard will be there, but Derek will also come. So I'm looking forward to see these guys again.
That doesn't surprise either one of us, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's kind of what I was talking about. That these veteran umpires are just so supportive of younger umpires like you and like me too. I haven't been umpiring for too long, but the veteran umpires always want to support the guys that are coming up. Are there any other international opportunities coming up for you other than coming to the United States for that tournament next year?
Last 2 years I worked Prague Baseball Week. That's adult tournament based here in Prague. And I hope I will work it this year. It will be in 2 months, I think. I'm not sure when but it will be. We hope everyone that this tournament will go on. And there will be national teams from all around Europe because all international events was cancelled. So this one may be the only international event in Europe. So there will be national teams from Italy, I think from Netherlands, 3 Czech national teams, adults under 23 and under 18. So that's gonna be a huge event. I hope I will work it again.
I hope you do too. That sounds like an amazing opportunity.
It's amazing because umpires from all around Europe also came, so
Right.
that's fun.
Oh, okay. My fingers are crossed for you. I hope you get that one. So, Philip, let's finish up with some of your thoughts about umpiring itself, the craft, and kind of what your approach is. I like to hear what guys think and why they're doing this crazy thing. What, in your experience so far, Philip, what are some of the most important qualities, personal qualities, that have helped you become a successful umpire so far?
I think that that's an effort to improve. You have to know what you want to do in the future. You have to have some goal which you want to do, and that's what moves you forward to do it again, again, again. You have to have that goal that helps you to work the game also when you have a bad mood or you are not okay that game is not working like you want to work it. You have some terrible strike zone that day or something like that. So you have that goal which you are looking forward to, and that's what to move you forward. Also, you have to be meekness for the game. Once you told yourself that you are the best, then there will be some crap next game.
That is 100% true. I often hear the same thing that you just said, meekness, or another way to say it is humility, to be humble. Because sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes, like you said, you're not going to have a good game. Your strike zone isn't going to be what you want it to be. Just something is not working, but you still have to fight through and find a way to do your best work out there. When you're on the field and you feel yourself having a tough game, what is your thought process? Do you have some strategies that you go with to kind of help center yourself?
This is a thing that Z helps me. He told me that when I am working behind the plant and I feel that my strike zone isn't that good and that stuff, that I should focus on a release point of a pitcher. Focus on the release point and then be 100% sure when the ball is and make your timing longer to think about the ball. That's what I do when my strike zone isn't as good as I want it to be.
Yeah, I like that advice. It's mechanically sound advice, but also just focusing on one small thing.
Definitely, because you don't have any more time to think about other stuff. So
right. You're too busy focusing on something else, and so you forget to think about how disappointed you are about the rest of the game. Yeah, that's good advice. So, Philip, your partners on the field, how would they describe you as an umpire? How would they describe your game?
Whoa. This one will be hard maybe for me.
What do you think? What would they say about you?
I think one of my colleagues, Mira, who described it as a usually long game behind the plate.
Uh-oh.
Or Mathieu, with who I worked most this year, always told me that I have lower strike zone about the half of ball, so
okay.
Lower strike zone guy.
Okay.
And it's always the same, so guys have to know that. I call that.
Well, that's a good quality for us to have, right?
Yep.
Consistency, no doubt. So, Philip, what's coming up for you? You're going to graduate high school in less than a year, and I know you're going to keep umpiring. What are some of your goals? Maybe in the next 3 to 5 years. Where do you see yourself going?
Once I will be doing great on a university, I will try minor league umpire school. I want to try it, so we'll see if it works for me. It's really expensive for guys from Europe because to travel to the United States, to Florida, isn't so cheap, and umpire clinic is also paid, so it isn't as cheap for us. But I will do it because it's something really interesting, and maybe I will do it to minor league, so that will be really good for me.
Probably you've heard some feedback from Z about what that experience was like for him too, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. And other than that goal, do you expect to keep working the same leagues, the same tournaments that you're in now? Do you have any other goals within Little League or WSBC or any other trips that you might look forward to in your umpiring these next few years?
I want to make it to European tournaments, which is WBS Europe. So I want to do it to that level, and then maybe the WBSC tournaments. This is about what's my goal in Czech Republic. And Little League, I want to work Little League, Intermediate, and maybe Junior League or the youngest Little League in Kutno in Poland, which is not so far from Prague.
I've heard so many good things about going to Kutno and working there. That's something that I have as a goal as well. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Once you are there, call me or send me email.
Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will, my friend. Well, that's a great place to leave off. And let's just hope that at some point in the future, Filip, that maybe you and I will even get to work a game together. I would certainly be happy about that opportunity. But until then, I just want to thank you for visiting with me today. It's been really interesting to learn about baseball in the Czech Republic, and I wish you all the best, and I will plan on seeing you down in California next year. All right?
Thank you. It will be really great to see you, and I hope we will work together sometime.
Let's do that. All right, Filip. Thank you, my friend. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Wasn't it fun to hear about baseball in Europe and what Filip's experience has been? And it'll be a lot of fun having him over on our side of the pond next year. And I do fully intend on making good on that promise to make a little road trip, to be in the stands to cheer him on during his World Series in 2021. Thank you for listening today. Email me anytime. My address is jason@umpireinspire.com. Give me your feedback on this episode or ideas that you might have for future guests. I have to tell you, before we go, just yesterday, I received an email from a listener from Illinois named Jim. And Jim just took the time to briefly express his appreciation of the show and how he's been inspired by our great umpire guests. And that just means the world to me. It really does. Look, let's be honest. You all know that there's no media corporation or podcast organization producing this show, right? It's just me, a guy with a microphone in my office, an umpire who likes to hear other umpire stories. And one time I thought, hey, I bet others would like that too. So all that to say that when I receive an email like the one I received from Jim yesterday, man, that keeps me going. That is rocket fuel for me in this entire effort. It lets me know that you all appreciate the show, and I want you to know that I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week on the Umpire Inspire podcast.